Good morning. I apologize for the how noisy my last video was. I erroneously was so into talking about the great legendary Julio Chavez that I didn't pay attention to the I believe the Jet game that was on at the time, and I do apologize for that. And speaking of Chavez, I liked your video on the greatest Latino fighters of all times. Well, back some memories of the great Salvador Sanchez and Eric Morales and Marcos Antonio Barrera, the great Roberto Duran, Carlos Monzon. I think I did make reference to one of the things I believe I talked about last time was a lot of the discrimination that the Latino fighters faced when they came over here. Legends like Duran, Palomino, Monzon, Sanchez, unfortunately they didn't make any money. The Golden Boys, I think I talked about this on the comments, and if I didn't, I'll elaborate. I thought it was disgraceful that Roberto Duran was treated like a second-class citizen when he fought Sugar Ray Leonard. People to this day think that, oh, poor Sugar Ray, he had something to prove and tried to fight like he was macho. I disagree. I think he would have got knocked out if he didn't fight back. Duran brought it to him so much where it was fight or flight. Let's put it that way. And Leonard knew he was in the fight of his life. The second fight, I believe, the Leonard people did their homework, quote unquote, when they realized that Duran had ballooned up. He didn't have any money, and they forced a very fast fight on him. Very, very similar to how Lennox Lewis did Tyson. Knew he was broke, gave him just a few weeks to either take it or leave it, and pushed up the date. A good fight should take months to train for. Not a month or two and then you're 3 and then you're back in the ring. I think a good 6 months train, then have your fight. So I do think that Duran was rushed into that fight, and then of course the behind the scenes nonsense. Leonard had to have the ring he wanted to, the referee he wanted to, the judges he wanted, the size gloves he wanted. It was just too much, in my opinion, for Duran to overcome. Duran is an inside fighter. He had to get inside. But Leonard wickedly, and his people wickedly, picked the perfect referee. A referee that would not allow Duran to get inside. Or he would conveniently, when Leonard would rat-a-tat-tat and do his little flurries, oh, they loved that. But then when Duran would get inside and do what he does best, or the referee had to, we got to break this apart. Oh no, we can't have this, and that puts separation between Duran and Leonard. Let's be very honest. Duran needs to get inside so he can do what he did in the first fight. And if you don't believe me, look at the second fight and the first fight. What was the key? That referee. Separation. It wasn't that Leonard was dazzling. Oh, no, there were a lot of things. Now, what do I think would help the Hispanics reach parity as far as money when it comes to boxing? Maybe promote their fighters better. I love what Golden Boy Productions is doing. I didn't like De La Hoya, but I like that aspect. We need to see more of that. And Latino fighters need to start speaking up about the inequities in this country towards their people. Not only as far as immigration. Yes, I know I'm getting political, but so what? I'm going to do it anyway. They're here. They're citizens, whether they're not here or not, legally or illegally. They still needed to be treated properly. When they get in the ring, they need to be paid equally. People like Pernell Whitaker couldn't carry the jockstrap of the great Julio Cesar Chavez. Lennon couldn't carry the jockstrap. Yes, I'm saying it. The 10-year lightweight champion of the world stepped up and beat Lennon's ass. That's right, I said it. I mean, he put something on Lennon's ass, point blank, point blank. And they treated Duran like he was carrying Lennon's lunch pail. A lot of guys, Arguello, Palomino, Sanchez, Monzon, and then later on, Morales, Barrera, Lupe Pintor, Schoolboy, Bobby Chacon. These guys fought. They went out on their shield, and you talk about crowd pleasing rocking. But then you have imitation people like Ricky Hatton. Hello, Ricky Hatton, who with all their fanfare. Look at all the money these guys make. Now, yes, I can't hate on the fact that they're marketed brilliantly, but come on, let's get some fairness up in here. That's all I'm saying. Let's do it right. A Ricky Hatton shouldn't be allowed to make all that money with a Floyd Mayweather, and then other guys can't eat. You know, now I know we can't do anything about the past, but let's try to do better and have more videos like this. And I'd like to see more shows to give these guys their due. We didn't do it back then. Let's try to do it now. So to all those great Latino fighters, I'm recognizing you. I loved watching you, and I still, whenever I see a fight from back in the days, I always am very quick to point out emphatically, no doubt, these were fighters. These were men. And I'd like to see more of those fights in Vegas, in Atlantic City, where people are paid properly. Now, if I may, I mean, we're never going to see it, obviously. Who do you think would win if Duran fought Julio Cesar Chavez? Who would you pick in that fight? Or, well, Bobby Chacon was too light. Or an Alexis Arguello at lightweight against the great Roberto Duran. Esteban de Jesus against a Alexis Arguello. Who would you like to have? Who do you think would win those kind of fights? Marcus Antonio Barrera or Eric Morales against Schoolboy Bobby Chacon or Bazooka Lamone. Remember those names? Hector Camacho at lightweight against a young in their primes against Duran at lightweight. Got those juices flowing? Tell me what you think. We'd like to know. Or how about this latest sensation, Manuel Lopez against a legendary fighter. He's a little bit older now, Marquez. Like to see that one? I think I would. Most definitely like to see that one. Sergio Martinez seems to be a pretty good fighter too. It's hard to really gauge. Styles make fights.